The Clippers, who have emerged as the hottest team in the Western Conference with the recent rejuvenated performance of Harden, who has completely regained his memory, and the return of Kawhi Leonard, who has finally recovered his long-lost knee, are entering a big match where they can test their true strength. They are facing Oklahoma, who has already clinched the top spot in the West. The matchup between the Clippers at full strength and Oklahoma, a championship contender, was the most interesting meeting of all the games today. The home team Clippers, who had been using a defensive strategy of leaving Caruso open while giving him some shooting opportunities from the start, also showed some results by forcing Caruso to shoot, and the center matchup between Hartenstein and Zubac was also a point of interest when Hartenstein scored consecutive points in a two-man game with Alexander. Zubac displayed one of the league's best classic center-like moves, and then Zubac and Hartenstein exchanged points in almost the same way, with the two teams' centers leading the scoring so far. A turnover on Gilgeous-Alexander's mid-range drive was a bit nerve-wracking for Oklahoma, and James Harden's elegant high-angle floater turned the score around. Harden, who was very weak against Oklahoma, needed to make up for it. Then Alexander went for his signature free throw attempt. However, Coach Talon, recognizing the importance of today's game, issued a challenge, and the shooting foul called on Bogdanovic was cancelled. While Coach Tyronn Lue, who returned today, acted like a master coach, Leonard took advantage of Dot's burdensome physique with ease, and James Harden lectured Alexander on how to tear up free throws.
5 rebounds, but that average has been going up of late. 14 points in their win over Charlotte. Kawhi Leonard knocks it down. 22.
Of course, Oklahoma was the best team in the league. As expected, it was impossible to completely stop Gilgeous-Alexander, and the away team, with its superstar, continued to play a close game. But the Clippers, who actively increased the tempo, even with Simmons coming off the bench, and showed the danger of full power, took the lead. On the other hand, Alexander's slight hesitation by the persistent opposing defense was somewhat unexpected for Oklahoma, which had already given up the momentum. However, there was one concern for the Clippers, who had such a good start, and that was the poor performance of Bogdan Bogdanovic, who had been playing well so far. Oklahoma took advantage of this gap and quickly closed the gap, and the home team, whose players even committed turnovers one after another, gradually gave up momentum. Considering that Shai, Gilgeous, and Alexander were on the bench at this time, it was quite unusual for the score gap to narrow. In a situation where Coach Tarallo was losing his country today, especially with Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench to lead the second period, Oklahoma, which had fallen into the double-digit key, turned the tables. The Clippers, who were struggling with a severe lack of attack, barely managed to stop the opponent's huge scoring run with a tough three-pointer from Norman Powell and a fast break score following a steal from Amir Coffey, who had been lacking in presence. As expected, the game turned into a very close match, and with Leonard's mid-range game reminiscent of him today, Alexander, who had not made a free throw yet, gradually began to collect fouls. This is exactly what the Clippers were worried about.
And Hartenstein, just such a hustler out there. Second effort for Gilgeous-Alexander, knocks down.